Hey guys, welcome back to Accursed Brew. My name is Azriel, and as usual, I got my boy Anthony here.
What up?
And today we're going to be having a conversation about Stalker 2. Now that we've sort of wrapped everything up, this seems like the best time to just kind of reflect on everything that we've done, the playthrough, things like that, what we thought. Now, we are going to dance around the spoilers the best as possible from like the story, but there are going to be some things that we mention. So please keep that in mind. If you care about the story and you don't want to learn anything, maybe wait to watch this after the fact. But if you're kind of like, you don't really care so much, again, we're not going to get super specific, but there may be some like plot points that we hint at or like hit on very lightly. Then feel free to continue going through this. But yeah, man, I'm just curious what you thought about this, like in a really vague sense. What did you think about your time with Stalker 2 through our playthrough?
I really enjoyed it. I think Stalker is one of those games that it's not for everybody, but the people it is for, like, it's made for specifically. Like, you will really, if you like this game, you're either gonna like love it or like not want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I think,
No, I'm sorry. Go on.
go ahead. No, you're good.
I think it's just like KCD2. It's like the same thing. Like if you're the audience for this, this is made for you. Like this is
Yes.
specifically your game. Somebody who enjoys more of a really honestly, it's like one of the grittiest, like desolate, broken worlds out there. It has like a very realistic sort of combat to it. The fact you have to like eat, you have to really manage your inventory and things like that, which inventory management can be a little annoying at times. There's the upgrade system with the different weapons and armor and things like that. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you're somebody who enjoys that more realistic take on a really gritty world, and you like sci-fi and things like that, I mean, this is right up your alley. This would be perfect for you. Um, but the
Yeah, I think
game,
it has. I think it has enough of everything that you could want in like a, like you said, gritty. I think is the best word for it. Like gritty, realistic, but also still has a lot of fantastical, whimsical things to it.
yeah, dude. Again, like we said, we're not gonna get super story spoilery type shit with this, but it definitely, as you progress later on, it definitely stretches your imagination of what you thought the zone would be and what it would offer. It gets very out there, but it's fun. I liked it. I thought some of the cutscenes that they showed were really cool. The sequences and things like that. It was really fun to just like watch and be a part of. I got to be honest, I didn't understand a lot of it. I think that had to do with the fact that we were playing this over the course of like the past few months, or a couple months, or whenever
Yeah,
the game released. But
if you played, how long would you say like the actual play time that you had in it? Like 40, 50 hours?
yeah, I would say about that. That sounds about right.
I think if you played those 50 hours in like a month long, 2 month long span, like you were playing it, this was your game that you were getting through that month. I think the story would make a lot more sense and you would be, a lot more attached to it than we were. I'm not saying that we weren't attached to the story and didn't like it. I think it was one of the stronger stories in a first person shooter recently. Um, but at the same time, it is so dense on the, especially in the second half, like the sci-fi stuff and the uh, you know, differences between factions and everybody's goals and what the real cause of everything is kind of. It gets very convoluted in a fun way, but also it is dense.
Yeah, you have to pay attention. It's very much
Yes.
something where like you should probably read a lot of what the like
The
the little
PDAs and
PDAs.
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got to read a lot of that. You got to like talk to a lot of the NPCs around the world and hear what they have to say. There is a lot of really good info that they share with you. Sometimes it can be repetitive, but there's a lot of really good stuff out there. It's definitely one of those games, man, where if you take your time and you really read everything, you listen to everybody, you absorb the world and keep things in mind and pay attention, it's really rewarding. Like it at times can be maybe even a little emotional, depending on how invested you get into it. Um,
Yeah,
and
100%.
and you could get a lot out of that. It's one of those games that definitely rewards your attention to it, um, which not a lot of games really do. Sometimes they're kind of just like they have a really simple story, which is fine in of itself, and the mechanics are why you're playing it. But this is something where like you play it for the mechanics, you play it for the vibe, you play it for the story, because it hits on everything. It's one of those games that it really respects you, and
Definitely.
I can't really say that often about a lot of games in their entirety. But this one definitely does. So, it's really cool. One of the big things too, man, is like the comment in the game. I definitely think that there are some walls at certain points. Like there were some points in the videos that we put out where it felt really difficult, kind of like killing people and progressing.
Mhm.
And then you get like a gun or two, like a new gun or two, and then you're just like chugging through them like they're nothing, like they're paper. Um,
Yeah, getting an armor upgrade, like getting a new set of armor that then you go upgrade and your defenses are 25% stronger than they were before. Like your damage output goes through the roof as you get new guns and stuff. It has the progression in it feels fair and realistic to me. Like you can go to a certain point in the map and like get really good unique weapons if you know where to look and stuff, but you'll also be able to figure your way through it just like going through the motions and following the dots on the mini map for objectives and stuff.
yeah, exactly. And they do it really well, man. I think the progression in the game is really solid. It's not often that I find games that have progression that don't have leveling systems to be all that good. Usually they feel very like artificial in how they kind of gate you away from things.
Mhm.
But this is very much something where like their progression blends really well with the way they want you playing the game, which is to say that like as you're going through and doing quests and things like that, um, you'll get some cash and things and whatnot, and you can improve a gun or two or improve like armor and stuff like that. But you're very limited. You're having to go back to talk to the barkeeps and say like, hey, like I want a quest for money or I want a quest for this or that, and they give you that, which is really cool. The quests just straight up say like, are you doing this for money or not? And they will just give you something to do for some cash.
And
And
they're
that's
and they're like, I guess you would say procedurally generated quests, but they still feel like it's not like Oblivion or Skyrim's procedurally generated quest where it's like, go get this thing. It's very specific, like, hey, I heard there was this going on in this area over here. You might find a valuable artifact. Like it feels natural.
Yeah, exactly. And that's cool, man. And I really appreciate that they did that with the game, that they gave you the liberty to like say, okay, here's like the 30th new gun that you found. If you want to quest up and get some cash to like fix it up, you can. And then you could have like another gun that I mean, because you could carry two, then you could quest up and fix that one up as well. And
Mhm.
if you come across something brand new, well, you could rinse and repeat and do that again. If you love the world, I mean that would cater exactly to experiencing most of it. Um, with a healthy portion of self exploration and things like that too. But yeah, I don't know. It's really cool, man. I have nothing but good things to say about it. It plays really well. It feels really good to like do. Um, Being able to switch guns and pick and choose whether you want to reduce its recoil or its spread or its aim down sights or its hip fire. Like it gives you some meaningful choices and some actual goals to work towards with some real, like you could see the benefits of it very clearly. So it's cool.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I think they do a good job at like giving you enough information on the stat differences between guns and stuff. You know, it's your standard damage, rate of fire, range, like those type of bars. I would honestly like compare it. I know I talk about this game all the fucking time, but like Metal Gear Solid 5. Like you could see exactly what these upgrades are going to be doing to your guns, and that's like good because you could plan out ahead like how you're gonna, because it's expensive to upgrade a gun. You may have to do 3 trips back to the guy to be able to afford fully upgrading the gun after going out and questing more. But you can kind of plan your like your talent tree, so to speak, for the guns.
Yeah, and I think that's why we're harping on this so much is because there is like cash in this game, at least in my playthrough. Again, your mileage may vary, but in my playthrough in particular, cash did not feel plentiful at all. Like I felt like I was very much exhausting my cash when I got back to repair everything, do a couple upgrades, maybe buy some stuff.
Yes.
Like I'm empty. Like I have nothing. I have to go and artifact hunt. I have to do a couple like radiant quests and things like that to get cash. Pick up all the loot from people and become a goblino and bring it back, and sell it. Like there was a lot of that. But again, like I love the game. I love the world and the vibe, the feel, like the moment to moment combat. Just kind of feeling like at any moment, a bloodsucker could pop up, a pack of dogs, whatever, dude. And I don't know. It's like a really cool world to just spend a bunch of time in. And there's a lot of detail too around it. Like
Yeah, the exploring is super rewarding. Like even if it doesn't look like something's gonna be there, like just walking through the zone and finding a tunnel that wasn't on the map, and you start going down the tunnel and it leads into a fucking bunker or something. It just like exists, and that's cool.
yeah, it's yeah. I don't know, dude. There's so many special moments with the game. You know what? It reminds me almost like of a Fallout game where you would walk in a building and you would see like skeletons at the table and you know what happened, right?
Yeah,
You'd
you
see
put
like
together the
food.
story. Yeah.
There's a lot of that environmental storytelling that they do in this game. You'd walk in a porta potty and see somebody, or in a toilet and see somebody like dead on there because there's like blood on the wall and his bones are around there and there's some drugs on the
Yeah,
ground, and a gun, and you're like, okay, like I get what happened here. Like I see it.
exactly.
Um, and I love that, dude. There's not many games that do environmental storytelling well. There's some that really like lightly dabble in it, and maybe they'll leave like a journal that you have to like read through to like get an idea. But it feels so much different than when you just walk in and you're like, okay, like this guy killed himself. He was on some drugs when he did it. Um,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
oh, go on.
I think your comparison to Fallout was like the perfect comparison because it is very much like you said, the environmental storytelling is peak in this game.
Yeah, it's so good because I played through a game like Avowed, and we could both attest to this. When we walk into buildings, a lot of the time, if you want to understand what's going on, they tuck that away in journals and in notes. And
Yeah.
like reading's not bad, but like I like having there's a saying, I'm not gonna remember the saying, but it's essentially just
Show
like,
don't tell.
yeah, show don't tell. Exactly. And the game does that incredibly
Yeah,
well. It's really cool to see. I prefer that too, between reading and not. I don't mind reading, but like I prefer not
100%.
to.
I
So
do like like lore and finding logs and stuff like that, but like give me a little bit of each at least. I mean, performance is still an issue at this point. We're about 3.5 months after release. Yeah, it came out the 20th of November. I haven't really tried to get it running again recently because I've been playing so much other stuff since launch. But you've been running it for the videos, and you've had some pretty hefty chug moments, I think.
yeah, there was a video that we did on the 1.2 update, which you guys can find on our YouTube channel. The thumbnail outright says "How is 1.2" or something to that effect, but you see 1.2 on it. I would check that out if you want an idea of what that update felt like, the most recent one. But just to give you kind of like a super like like the short on it is that it didn't really do too much for me. It still ran pretty poorly. You could see in the video like me messing with the settings and seeing some things and checking them out. The game since launch has gotten a little bit better. It's definitely gotten more stable. Early on when we were recording videos, it would just crash the recordings and just like kill the videos, or like there'd be random glitches or audio issues,
Yeah,
which is
it was really
we
weird. We'd never had any issues recording anything, and that one we lost like 3 videos worth of footage.
yeah, dude, it was so strange because we would play like there was one where some of the Halo videos. If you check out our channel, there's some Halo videos that we did. We would do like a Halo video and then immediately record Stalker, and like the recording would just break. Like I couldn't open it. I couldn't watch it. Couldn't put it
Yeah.
into DaVinci or anything. Again, that's like really particular, hyper particular to like the line of work that we're doing. But just to give you some context as to like some of the widespread issues with the game, a lot of that has kind of went away since. But the performance, the actual like frame rate and things like that is still kind of rough. At times, it just doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I do want to say with that, I think a lot of it is they are improving performance and stability, but they're also doing so much on the back end with how the AI works that I think then their performance upgrades and stability upgrades then suffer again because they're making the AI work so much harder in the background as well. Because they've added so much because A Life was not like a thing when it launched. It was like completely broken because of performance issues. I believe what they had said. And I truly believe it because every time they've added more, it takes off a lot of the work that they've done on the performance side. But I do think it's just a balance, and this game needs time. It just, especially with everything that the studio is going through and the situation, like I think it just needs time, and they are working on it, which is great to see.
Yeah, the continued support is really nice. And I think that's
It's
exactly
not
right,
it's
man.
not it's not a Bannerlord 2. Shots fired.
And they put it out and they're like, yeah, you guys are good. Whatever. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, like, as much as the performance sucks, it's still playable. It just doesn't run that well. But yeah, given, like you said, what they're going through with the atrocities that like Russia's like committing right now on their soil, like, yeah, I mean, there's just not enough that can be said about how much of leeway they
Get
deserve.
ready for the angry comments, Azzy. The bots are going to be out in full
Yeah,
force.
any stupid fucking people that want to be like, oh well, they move studios, blah blah blah. Like, no, like it's not just like, okay, well, you work in a new location. It's like, what about my family, my friends, my house? What about my
Yeah, there's
country?
a lot more going on than
Yeah,
just that.
you don't just like move to a new building and you're like, oh, okay, happy joy, good life. Like, no, like that, so fucking stupid. So short sighted. They're dealing with some very real things out there, so they deserve every last bit of leeway we can give them, which is quite a bit, and I think they deserve
And
it.
that's the
So
thing. They still put out this fucking like I'm not going to call it a masterpiece because there are things that need to be fixed, but the the structure and like the bones that they've built so far, foundation, I guess you should say, are unbelievable. I think like Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl, and Call of Pripyat and stuff. Those games had fucking 10-year lives because of the modding community. The modding community for this game is going to go so fucking hard. Like, there's going to be so much stuff that are added to this game. They're going to add games built on top of it. Like, the systems in place are so like ripe for molding, in my opinion, especially by modders. That it, like, I think 5 years from now, this is going to be a fucking 10 out of 10 game with hundreds and hundreds of hours of playtime. If you like the systems, you'll find something to do.
Yeah, they give you a lot of tools, like you said, like 100%. There's so much here to work with. And I would say this game right now is like a 9 out of 10, in my opinion, with the 10 just being the performance. Once that's kind of locked
Yeah,
down and it becomes
I
in a more
agree.
playable state, perfect game, you know?
I agree completely. I agree completely. Like it's beautiful. The fucking I think it's got. I mean, we just talked about Monster Hunter in the video we just recorded, but the sound design in this game is like 10 out of 10, like masterpiece sound design. I think it's like a like something that other games should reference when they're designing their games for sound design. It's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing, dude, is that they're setting the bar, you know? Like they're the ones who are establishing what. Man, it's hard to say because we just said that about Monster Hunter Wilds, where the world in that is kind of like this is the new bar set for like how a world should feel. But this too, I mean, they're very different games in the way they
Yeah,
function and everything. So I think for something like what this is going for, more of a obviously it's single player and stuff. I definitely think that this is like what a Fallout should aspire to do, right? Like I think this took that formula
100%.
of that environmental storyline or environmental storytelling that we mentioned, and then cranked it up to 10. So I don't know. This post-apocalyptic world that they have here, I don't even know if you could call it that, but it feels like that. Um, is it's just beautiful, dude. It's so phenomenal. I love the game. I don't know. There's not much else to say about it. Again, it has its issues, but I think if you have a beefy enough computer, if you're willing to lower the graphics, you're gonna have a great time.
Even if you
Regardless
don't,
of all that.
compared to Monster Hunter, this thing runs like a fucking dream.
Yeah, it works.
So
So you
we're
know,
being critical of it, but like know that it still runs. Like you could lower the graphic setting and it still looks good on low. I really don't think you're going to have a problem if you have like maybe like a 1080. I think and up would be able to run it on low pretty well.
yeah. So, but no, it's good stuff, man. I think anybody who gives this game the shot gives it a shot is really gonna love it. There's a lot here to appreciate. We have a good chunk of the game on our channel for anyone to check out. The one thing I will say is that the later half of the videos we put out have more of the story in it, whereas some of the earlier ones don't necessarily. So if you'd want to avoid some of the spoilers for the story, definitely check out the early ones. There's little bits here and there, little tidbits, but it's mostly just us exploring the world, doing side quests, things like that. I mean, there's enough content there besides the main story that you can have a great fucking time. And then when you feel like progressing through and then kind of wrapping things up and, kind of setting it down for now, you have that opportunity. But there's enough to keep you going, regardless of all that. So
100%.
yeah, it's good stuff. So definitely, love the game. This honestly kind of turned into like a bit of a soft review, but I'd walk away from this strongly recommending it. Like I said, like a 9 out of 10. I think it's fucking phenomenal.
And we
Um,
say it every fucking video. It's on Game Pass, boys. Fucking if you got Game Pass, just download it and try it out. It's great.
yeah, there's no excuse why anybody. I take that back. $10. I'm sure at times can be very difficult, or $13 or whatever it is can be very difficult to
Actually, it's
spare.
13.99 plus tax. You're looking at like 14.07.
It can definitely be difficult at times to spare that cash. If you got the cash readily available, I would definitely say go for it. It's worth your
How am I
time.
supposed to afford Game Pass when I have to get my gems on Genshin Impact?
Not just your gems, but also you have to buy your fucking new Fortnite skins too, dude. Like you got to keep
Yeah,
that in mind.
I need to get my waifu. It only takes like so I did the math. It only takes about $5,000 to fully max out a character on Genshin. It's super
Ooh,
like fair.
that's
Yeah.
that's not bad,
But yeah,
honestly.
14 bucks for Game Pass, unacceptable.
Yeah, ridiculous, but it's good shit. Definitely check it out. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe, things like that. We love you guys. We appreciate all the help and the support and everything throughout the
Yeah,
Stalker
it's been
playthrough.
great.
So
The Stalker fans have been so supportive and so kind, commenting, helping with like translations and like we appreciate you guys. It's been awesome.
yeah, the translations are great. I fucking love that you guys do that. That's so cool to see. You
Also,
guys
we're
are
not
awesome.
done. we're not done with Stalker. We will be like visiting mods and stuff like that. We're just done with the main story. So expect the amount of Stalker content on the channel to change, but we'll probably revisit it like a lot. Like maybe when any big mod comes out or updates, we'll probably see a video.
Yeah, exactly. Updates for sure. We'll talk about. We definitely want to keep you guys updated with that. And then yeah, the mods as those become like more readily available, more variety and
Actually,
things like that.
I'm gonna ask a question to our viewers. If there is a mod that you know of that you're interested in us seeing cover, leave a comment like on this video. I would love to get some input on people who have played some of the mods to know like, yeah, this one's awesome. Let this one get more time or something like that. What are ones that you guys are enjoying?
Yeah, for sure. Keep us updated on that. I'd love to see any feedback you guys have, anything you guys would like to see in regards to Stalker. Um, but with that, I love you guys.
I
Uh,
love you.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you guys enjoyed the playthrough, and I appreciate you guys. So like, comment, leave us a comment, and subscribe.
Like,
And like,
comment again,
yeah.
like
So
again,
oh,
send to your mom.
in old school fashion, beat the fuck out of the like button, subscribe with love, and leave us a
Spit
dirty
on that
little comment.
notification bell.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys. We will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Deuces.